What is it about running in circle holding hands? Jumping from one foot to another and waving your arms in the air. Some may call it dancing. So how many of you have ever danced in their life? All of us, right? All of us have danced at least once. But why do we do that? People have been dancing for as long as they have existed on this planet. Archaeologists' finds of various household items of Stone Age confirmed the existence of dance 30,000 years ago, which means we have been dancing for longer than there have been domesticated animals. We didn't have math or physics, but we all danced. And still, we don't pay enough attention to dance. Today, as a person who is passionate about dance, I want to invite you to dive with me into history of dance and look how our attitude towards it and our understanding of its very function has changed. I would go all the way to ancient Greece first. Greeks were actually people who adored dancing, and they proclaimed dance as one of the main methods of moral and physical education of a person. Sparta, the famous warrior city, was actually really famous for its dance. And Greek poet Homer described the city as with broad dancing place. Children there were given compulsory daily dance lessons from age of 6. Moreover, the ability to dance beautifully and to convey ideas through it was, in some parts of Greece, valued more than actually skills of professional Olympic athletes. Aristotle devoted his several works to dance and its classification, and great philosopher Plato placed dance among sciences, not just among them, but at the head of all them, because in his understanding, dance makes bodily connections of our mind and our spirit. Now raise your hands those who are still skeptical about dance, who hear things that dance is not serious. Nah. I think people who raise their hands think that dance is something childish, something not inherent in science, and there are actually a lot of stereotypes about dance, and the most common one is dance is not an intellectual thing. Do you know why do we think so? That's because philosophy, especially in the West, was ignoring the body for so long, it became a Cinderella of classical philosophy. Since, for example, 17th century, René Descartes separated the thinking substance from the materialist substance, and thought, therefore, became disembodied. Let's be honest, that was probably due to the fact that philosophers of that time were sitting a lot and were not moving enough. Did it change? Yeah. And Friedrich Nietzsche was actually the first one to notice that in dance, body becomes an artistic work, which means it's an expressive idea, express of a thought. He turned the classical philosophy upside down, and in his philosophical poem, Thus Spoke Zarathustra, he said, I would only believe in God who could dance. But still, we ignored the body for so long. Now let's take a deep breath, all together. Wiggle your body. Do you know that in 19th century you wouldn't be able to do that in public? Because a decent society of that time did not accept the body. Women wore stiff corsets in which it was impossible to breathe, and men wore high collars and a tie which it was impossible to move your head. Kind of hard to dance and all of it, right? So, at the end of 19th century, the movement for emancipation of the body began. And do you know who started it? None other but the dancers. One of the most prominent representatives was Isadora Duncan. She was a person who changed our perception of body and movement in our society. Now she's called the founder and even the grandmother of modern dance, but most importantly, dance revolutionary. Now it seems natural for us to walk barefoot, as I do now, for example. But remember that all of it is thanks to the dancers of 19th century. You may ask me, oh, did this revolutionary spirit of dance is somewhere there in 19th century? What happened to dance later? If we're getting closer to 20th and 21st century, dance begins to acquire more and more new functions. It became a tool that we use to protest against the status quo. It became a representative of social and economical and political problems that we have in our society. I want to show you some great examples of different dance styles that represent this power of dance. The Charleston dance, popular in 1920s, was actually a symbol of a revival and protest against harsh moral restrictions and social stagnation after First World War. It also became the first representative of a new generation of emancipated women, of their fight for their rights. For example, the right to choose your partner, both off and on the dance floor. Flamenco dance in Spain during Franco's dictatorship became a protest against social and economic inequalities, and it's also expressed people's fight for their freedom. Hip-hop dance in 70s and later breakdancing in 80s in Bronx was actually a way for people to show problems of violence and racism. It became a way for people to express their anger. Dance is an essential part of our cultural code. At various points of history, it became less or more important part of our society, but it's always there. It's not about classical ballet in theaters, no. You experience day every single day, whether it's a popular TikTok trend or a dance TV show, or you dancing at home to music of Frank Sinatra, or a religious dance rituals. All of it is dance. And dance transforms our world for better. Today, I want to invite you to join me to keep moving, keep dancing, and keep changing our world dance step by dance step. Thank you.